In this video, I want to talk about coins I expect to explode in this bull market. Now, if you've been following what is going on in the market, you will realize that Bitcoin has broken over $100,000, Ethereum is sitting at $2,700, and many other cryptocurrencies are exploding. Some of the coins have done 5 to 10x within this short period of time, and I want to share some of my favorite picks for this bull market. Now, before I get started with my favorite coin picks, my focus was on AI coins, dipping, reward assets, gaming, and a few layer 1 blockchains, and that is what I will be sharing in this video. For context, I'll be ranking this based on the higher market cap down to the lower market cap, and this should tell you that the ones that have higher market cap has less chances of doing a lot of numbers, but these coins are quite sustainable and will be here for the long run. But the ones with lower market cap would most likely do insane numbers. I'm talking about those 10, 20, 50x, but they're also very risky, so you have to pay attention to this. So make sure to like this video right now and subscribe to this channel, and let's get started. So the first coin on my list is AR, also known as AWIV. So if you look right here, it is currently trading at $7.2, and the market cap, which is the biggest I'm actually holding, is around $506 million right now, with an FDV of $509 million. So most likely most of the coins are actually circulating right now. And if you look at the chart right here, I would like to look at the chart from trading view. So this coin has been existing far back as 2021, and you can see at some point it got to $80 and even up to $91. That was during the peak of 2021 bull market, and ever since then we had this downtrend during the bear market. And when we had this initial rally, you can see we actually had some push up from $3 up to $50. That's actually insane. That's almost a 15x, and since then we've been in a downtrend right now. But what you should notice here is, even as much as we've been in a downtrend, you can see higher lows and lower lows, higher lows, lower lows continuously. But what I noticed here is we are starting to have a change of character. If you look right here, we've broken above this previous highs, and then we're having kind of like a retracement upward. So this might most likely continue just like this, upward like this, and then we just have a full-blown bull market for this particular coin. And that is why I'm interested in buying this particular coin at this price. Now personally, I think in this bull market, if it plays out very well for AI coins, because this falls under the category of AI and dipping, and most likely I expect that it should actually run back at least back to like $50 or thereabouts in this bull market if they have the hype and the marketing in the coming months. So this is my first pick, and if you want to check out where you can buy it, it's actually listed on Binance, Bybit, OKX. So all of the biggest exchanges is actually available on there, so you can go there and actually grab it back for yourself. The next coin on my list is Destra, and this is actually sitting at $159 million market cap. FDV is around $163 million. And let's look at the chart. So I had this futures trade I actually placed on Destra, and it's been moving really well ever since I did so. But let me just clean that out. So for this coin, this is a coin that started existing I think sometime in 2023 or 2024, and I think 2024 started in 2024, and then we had this huge rally down to $0.5, and then since then we've been in a downtrend. But if you also notice, we have also tried to break above these highs, which is kind of like a change of character that might be taking us back to the all-time high or something. I think for me, for the all-time high is just about barely 300%, which I expect that should happen in the coming months. And one thing I like about this project is this is a project that generates revenue, and it's not just an AI coin, but they generate revenue and they distribute those revenues to people. If you look right here, the recent tweet, it talks about $350,000 ETH distribution live now. Over $1 million has been distributed to the community in just 3 months. We are rewarding our stakers and node runners. I'm not staking my coin. I don't like staking coins, but like I bought mine and I left it in a wallet, and I would have been getting yields for staking my coins, right? But I'm not advising you to do so anyways. But they've given out $1 million in the past 3 months, and this is coming from their revenue. So they generate revenue and they distribute this money back to people that actually staked their coin. Now, the interesting thing is, these guys also recently announced that they'll be going on mainnet, and if you look right here, if they go on mainnet, the token becomes deflationary, where revenue generated is actually used to buy back the token and then bond, and then it's going to continue like that. So like this is actually insane. Like, this fundamental is great, and I'm going to be supporting this with my full chest anytime. Although I bought this coin quite early, I think somewhere around there or thereabouts. So I'm currently up like 50 or 60% already, but like, this is actually a great price. And if you look right here, what I noticed is we had this area here was kind of like a resistance for it, but what did you notice? We finally broke above it, and then this is kind of like retesting that resistance area, which has turned to support right now. And since we're retesting, most likely we might just have a trend continuation upward. So we retest it and then we continue upward. Yeah, so this is my thesis for it. And if in case you're looking to cut your losses, I'll probably say anything below these lows is actually fine to cut your loss, just in case you want to do so. But I believe if everything turns out well with what these guys are building, we should most likely see the all-time highs in the coming months and even exceed it. Yeah, I believe that. And if you're looking for where I can buy Destra, that is Desync, you can actually buy it on Uniswap, Mexi, Gate.io, BingX, and other exchanges you can see right here. So just work with any of the exchanges you find right here. So let's go over to the next coin on my list, which is Checks. The full name is actually Chint AI, and this coin is sitting at $222 million market cap, which is quite higher than Destra, right? But like, it has potentials to go into the billions with the more adoption of real world asset. Now, this token is actually a real world asset token. Okay, so let's go to their Twitter page first of all. And there are a couple of things why I became very, very bullish on this particular project. So one of the reasons was right here, Patel Real Estate tokenizes institutional funds through Chint AI. This fund is part of a broader $750 million JV with institutional partners, including KKR and blah blah blah. So you can see $750 million is no joke. And even on the newspaper right here, you can see Patel Real Estate launches $100 million tokenized funds on Chentai blockchain. Now, this project is not just a real world asset, but more like a layer 1 blockchain for real world assets. And if we have more adoption for real world assets, I believe this token should be in the billions. Like, it doesn't have anything it's doing under like the millions, should be in the billions of market cap. And there's a lot of fundamentals around it, which is why I'm really, really bullish on it. Coupled with the fact that we had Mantra, which was one of the biggest it was the biggest real world asset token that just collapsed. So with that collapse, I believe most persons are turning their attention to the next big real world asset token, and I believe Checks would most likely benefit from it. So if you look at the chart right here, you can see at some point it even ran to almost $800 and something million market cap. That's actually insane, and I expect it should go back there very soon. So over here, we kind of like we're in a downtrend. But what you start noticing is we are kind of like having these higher highs, higher lows continuously. I just need us to break above these highs here, and it's going to be more like a trend continuation upward. So something like this, we have something breaking above this, retesting upward, and then continuous like that till break the all-time highs and even exceed it during this bull market. I expect that if these guys keep to their words and keep building what they're building, most likely we are going to see the all-time highs in this bull market. Now for this coin too, I bought quite early, I think somewhere around there, and I'm sitting up. I think at some point I was up like 70 or 80% profit. Right now I'm just about 50% profit. So this is for full disclosure, so you know that I'm actually transparent with what I'm doing. So if you want to buy, I still think like this is a great price, because for us to have like a serious downtrend, it's going to be like probably like the market actually start retracing, Bitcoin goes down below 100k and something. That's when we'll have some retracement. But if not, I just think some of these prices are still very, very early, and we might most likely be going up from here. So the next coin on my list is TAI, which is TAS protocol, TAS AI, and this coin is currently sitting at $59 million market cap. It's actually one of my favorite picks for AI coin. And FDV is somewhere around $86 million. The volume is actually very crazy every day. I don't know, it's very, very crazy. But You know, these guys have been building crazily recently, and I've talked about them in a couple of my videos recently. I guess you should have seen it, but if you've not, I will encourage you to check out some of those videos and the reasons why I'm really bullish on this particular coin. But if you look right here, they are having kind of like a buyback and burn. So first they have the first round where they bought back about 50 million coins. The round 2 they bought 50 million coins, so they are yet to complete. And now they are planning the round 3 to buy 30 million coins. I mean, 30 million coins is crazy. Let me do a calculation. So that's somewhere around $2.6 million. So in essence, you're trying to buy back and burn over $5 million out of their token. That's actually crazy. Now, I've talked about this a lot, but like if you look at the chart right here, I have this presentation which I did in my last video. So I'm saying this year looks like this year is a resistance or it, right? Now what we had there was a beautiful breakout, but we are unable to stay above this, and that's why we had this retracement over here, and then we had a trend continuation upward. Now I have two scenarios. The first scenario is we break above this, then form kind of like a higher high, and then even break above this one here. So that gives us like a perfect high, because if you look at this token, it was previously in a downtrend. So for a continuation to continue up, we need this to break this previous highs here, then have a slight lower highs, and then continue higher highs like that. That's when we continue upward. So if we have this clean breakout from this point, most likely this token is going to continue going up, and then there's still a scenario where this token retraces below this and then we just keep going down. But like there are more chances with the developments and buybacks they are trying to have, and these things are going to happen within the next 3 to 4 weeks, which most likely is going to pump this token. So it makes no sense for me not to be buying at this price. If these guys are able to complete this, I believe this token should most likely exceed this all-time high easily. And the fact that recently they also bought 250,000 tokens, but not just that, they are a revenue generating company, so they generate revenues and they use that to buy back the token. If you look right here, TI is entering a new phase of monetization. Revenue in, token out of circulation, value back to community. So the more they generate revenues, they use that to buy back the token and they burn it. So it's kind of like gonna explode over the coming months. So this is particularly why I'm very bullish on TAI, and they are building crazily. People like their product and what they are building. So why shouldn't I be holding this particular token at this point? So I'm holding a very big bag for it, but if we have slight retracement, I would most likely be adding up some tokens in the downtrend. But I personally think this should go higher in the coming weeks and coming months. So that's it. The next coin on my list is Natix. This particular one, I'm really bullish on it and what they're actually building. You can see right here, the market cap is $13 million market cap, and the FDV is somewhere around $81 million market cap. And I had to do my research about their tokenomics, and here is what I found out. First off, before I will show you that, I want to start off with when this coin started trading. So it started off sometime in July of 2024, right? Now, if you look at their token distribution, the team and advisors have 20%, right? There's a 9-month cliff followed by a 30-month linear vest. Now what this simply means is the team and advisors are not getting any token for the next 9 months after their TGE, followed by a 30-month linear vest. Once it exceeds the 9 months, which I guess it's almost at the 9 month, right? Because this is July of last year. Now, the rest of their tokens are going to be unlocked for the next 30 months, which brings us somewhere around 0.6% of the tokens will be unlocked monthly for them, which I really don't think at this price is much. And with what these guys are building, I don't expect them to be dumping their token month in, month out, because what they're building is something that should be sitting in billions of dollars of valuation. Now, you can also look at the incentives. 37% was actually allocated for it and would be released based on product usage slowly over the lifetime of the project. The next one is DEX and SEX liquidity, which is fully unlocked 8%. Early backers got 24%, out of which 10% unlocked on TGE. That's actually passed. And then the 6 months cliff, so they don't get any tokens, and then after that they get the rest of it for the next 20 months. So when I look at followed by the public sale and reserve, for public sale, I think they have completely sold out all their tokens already. So every person above from public sale would have gotten all the tokens. Reserve 25% on TGE, and then the rest of it for 48 months. So when you look at this, I see a sort of like a long-term plan for their tokenomics, which is actually very fine. And that is why I was convinced enough to actually look at purchasing this token. So before I'll show you their Twitter page, let's go. What's this token all about? So Natix Network is building an open intelligence network using their proprietary AI and internet cameras. So more like each of these cars now, you can have a camera installed in it. I think when I went to their website, they were specific with Tesla cars, but like other cars too could actually do it, where you just have to connect your camera. The reason for this is for this smartphone camera to actually serve as real-time data. Now you know that this is very, very important. When you see the likes of Bolt, Uber, these guys are worth billions of dollars in valuation. Even like Google Map is something like every other person is using it right now, and I see a lot of potential with what Natix is building. Now if you also look right here, they have at some point they had over 100,000 users, which have driven for like 40 million kilometers in only 1 year of having this. And these guys, there was a report from Masari which was talking about, which included them in a deepened report, which you can see right here. And for people that actually signs up, you get rewards for doing some of these things. And these guys also generate revenue, which is very, very important. If you look right here, they recently bought somewhere around 274 million tokens, which let me check how much it's actually worth, which is somewhere worth around $223,000, right? And this was done recently. So these guys are generating revenue. If you look at this chart right here, they're actually burning these tokens every day. And even from their recent publications, they were more like they are going to do this more often. So the more they get adoption, the more they generate revenue, and then the more they use that to buy back the token and burning them. So at the end of the day, when you look at this token distribution right here, I'm not really scared about it. And let's look at the chart before I will show you where you can actually buy it. So Natix is, if you look at the chart right here, so what you can notice is we are kind of like, this area is kind of like a resistance, which we are also trying to break above it. So I believe this token would actually moon more if we are able to break above this and have a trend continuation upwards. So something like this, and then a retest. I think this retest will be like the best area to actually enter, just in case. But sometimes I don't know, like tokens might get higher than you expected, and then you just end up buying at the top, which is why I actually bought here. But there's still chances that this might retrace a little bit from here, and if there's kind of like a retracement from here and before we have a continuation upward, then I might actually be looking at to bid more tokens within this particular region, right? And even up, and probably a lot more when we break above this, which is kind of like a trend continuation upward. All right. Now for where you can buy this particular coin, you can buy it on Mexi, Gate.io, KuCoin, CoinX, and then Orca. I think with Jupiter and Iridium you can actually do that because they all work together. These are like Solana ecosystem. All right. Now the next coin on my list is a gaming coin, which is called Creo. Now I supported these guys a lot previously, but like it just feels like it keeps going down every freaking day. And the reason why I'm still holding them right now is I'm down on serious loss, but there might be chances that this token might come back up, because the previous year they were actually building consistently. I was seeing the updates on what they were doing. They were showing up every day. The team members were showing up, and it made a lot of sense, right? But like it's down just like every other token, but it's not really picking up momentum within this period of time when tokens started going up. If I try to search it up on TradingView, you can see we had this huge spiral down, and since then we've just been gradually going up, which is not completely like clear that we are going to be in an uptrend until kind of like we break above this region. That's when I say, okay, I might most likely conclude that we are currently entering an uptrend. But one thing you should notice is, for every time these guys try to move up, you can see it takes them a very short period of time to actually move up. I'm going to show you. So this here, from this area here down to here, so you can see, if you look right here, you can see these guys had kind of like a huge pump within 48 days. That's how crazy it is. So imagine having this price appreciation within 48 days. And even the first time I got to find out about them was sometime in December of 2023, where you can see this huge spike. If I try to pull out my ruler and show you this very pump from here to this very point, it took barely 21 days for this to pump by 2,200%. And even when we had this retracement, you can also see that it also moved up very fast. So it's just kind of like a token that if the narrative is there and then people are talking about it, it's going to move up very, very fast. But you know, right now it's actually slank, it's actually going down very rapidly, which I really don't like. But I'm just going to hold it just for the fact that we might have game tokens actually trending again, and if that happens, most likely this is going to exceed this all-time high again. And then if the team becomes more persistent in building their project, then most likely we should see some pumps in the coming months, and that is why I'm still holding this token, to be sincere. So this is a full disclosure. I'm currently on a serious loss on this particular project, probably like 60% or 70% down from what I bought it. So it's actually a crazy loss, but I can't really sell at this point. I just have to keep holding. If I see some indications on what they're doing, I might decide to just start buying up the dip so that my entry point will be quite lesser for me. But for now, I'm just holding my bags like that. And then the final one is GLQ. I made a ton of money from this particular one last year, and it's quite unfortunate it's down also. But like yeah, it's very, very down. Market cap is around $10 million. FDV is around $19 million. But I don't think these guys are getting the amount of hype they really need to actually push up. So let's look at the chart. GLQ. So if you look right there, I had this drawing for it previously. So we kind of like bottomed there and then started going up, which I think is good. But this region we're at, so we had this breakup above here because this here kind of like look like a little bit of resistance. I might even draw another resistance over here, but let me use a triangle, a rectangle to represent this. So something like this. It looks quite big, but I'm gonna use it like that. So we kind of like need to break above this region, because here was kind of like a support for it, which later on broke below, and then here was kind of like a place where this coin picked liquidity and it started going up. So there's kind of sort of like a resistance along this region right here. So what I expect is we break above this, and if we are able to break above this and retest or stay consistent here, then most likely we are going to have a trend continuation upward. But if not, for now, I don't think this is completely bullish, coupled with the fact that they're not getting a lot of recognition online. I don't know. Yeah, people used to talk about them previously, but like it just feels like everything is slow, and they're not even putting out like regular updates, although they recently had a partnership with this project. So that's basically it actually. And I also like the fact that they included staking. That could actually help reduce sell pressure from their token. So this is a few of the tokens I've been holding. Now what I'm still holding here is my moon bag. Yeah, I did take profit a lot during last year, and then when I took profit, when it came down, I actually bought the dip. I think like my dip, the dip I bought is quite deeper right now, but like I'm actually cool with it, and I would like to support them to see what they're building and how it actually turns out in the coming months. So this is all of it about coins I'm actually holding. If you want to find out where you can buy this, it's actually available on Mexi, Gate.io, KuCoin, and a few of them. And for Creo, I want to show you where you can also buy it. For Creo, you can buy it on BitGet, Mexi, Gate.io, BingX. I'm going to leave all links in the description, just in case you don't have the account to sign up for these platforms. And guys, we've come to the end of this video, and these are all of the coins I'm holding, but I'm still holding some meme coins which I won't be able to talk about in this video because it's quite long. So I'm going to do a follow-up video on meme coins I'm actually holding for this bull market. And if you want to see that video, then make sure to like this video right now and subscribe to this channel. And if you want to learn more about how to make money from cryptocurrencies, I did a cryptocurrency and DeFi mastery course where you can learn cryptocurrency from the very basics to the expert level, and then you start making money for yourself instantly. If you want to check out that course, then go to the website uchecrypts.com. Once you go there, you can purchase the course and start right away. I'm going to leave a link to that in the description also. And if you enjoyed this video, then stay tuned for more awesome videos, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye for now.